Hey guys, it's Nathan Ratalski again, and this is week 2 of the summer ukulele lessons. Last week we just talked about a few basic chords. This week we're going to build on to the chords. We're going to make them a bit more difficult, and we're going to start working on actually becoming ukulele players with our muscles. So, that being said, let's get started. Alright, so I've got my uke here. Last week, like I said, we talked about those 4 basic chords, the C, G, A minor, and the F. This week we're going to learn how to use those chords with an added note to make them sound a bit better, make them sound a bit more intense, and we'll work on a new strumming pattern. Essentially, we're just going to build ourselves up as players. Alright, so what that means is, rather than just the we're going to make a chord progression that sounds a bit like this. Alright, so that sounds a bit harder than just the C, G, A minor, F, but they're essentially the same chords. Which is why last week was important to work on those. I said that they were the foundation of a lot of songs. I wasn't joking. So, let's get started. Alright, let's take a look at those chords up close so that we can actually learn them. The first is going to be that F that we learned. However, it is a bit different. What we're going to do this week is we're going to incorporate that pinky. Now, the pinky is really often overlooked by new ukulele players. It's a hard finger to use because it's a lot weaker than the rest of them. It's a lot less dexterous and it tends to cramp up a lot more because it's not as used. So with this chord progression, we're both going to strengthen the pinkies and we're going to help our finger flexibility. So the first chord, like I said, was the F with the pinky added. So it's going to be 2, open, 1, and 3. So 2, open, 1, 3. And then we'll go to the C chord, which we're going to hold with the pinky. As a reminder, the C chord is open, 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 3. So just going from the F to the C is really easy. So you're just taking off the middle finger and the index finger. The next chord after the F to C transitions is an A minor, and we're going to keep that pinky on the C string right there, and we're just going to go and play our A minor like we normally do, except with that pinky. So it's going to be 2, open, open, 3. As opposed to last week's, which didn't have that pinky and it sounded like this. You get that nice high note. It may be hard to do at first, but over time, you'll definitely get it. The next chord that we do is a bit different. Actually, the next 2 chords that we do are a bit different than the ones we learned last week, but they're both rooted in that G chord that we learned, which was this. So it's a really nice chord. This time we're going to be learning these. So to get there, it's going to be, for this chord right here, it's open, 2, 1, 3. And then it transitions into a G7, which is open, 2, 1, 2. So you're just taking that pinky and you're going, taking it off. And then, to conclude, we can end it on a C7, which is just open, 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 2. So all in all, this chord progression sounds a little something like this. Really pretty chord progression, and it's a really helpful chord progression. Alright. Alright, so that's a fun little chord progression. Next week we're going to start learning different strumming patterns. Couldn't get into this week's lesson because I realized using that pinky is actually a pretty hard thing to actually do. It's kind of counterintuitive. Most of the time we just want to use our strongest fingers, even curl our thumb over to get that top string. Using the pinky will definitely help you become a better player. I mean, it's one more finger to use. 4 fingers, 4 strings. Makes sense, yeah? So next week we're going to learn strumming patterns and, if I can get it in, picking patterns. You know, just things to jazz it up rather than just... We can start going into more advanced strumming patterns, actually adding in that, like, the trills, like... Or transitioning into finger picking, like... So hopefully we'll get to that next week. Again, thanks for watching this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any suggestions, as always, leave them in the comments below. And if you want to learn ukulele over the summer, leave a subscribe. Alright, thanks guys. Just as a little side note, I apologize if I was kind of hard to understand this week. I just got my wisdom teeth out, so that's kind of healing up. I might have a bit of a lisp right now, and my cheeks are definitely puffier than usual. Makes talking kind of hard. If there's anything you didn't understand, leave a comment and I'll respond to it. Thanks for watching.